Hey Stefan, welcome. Yeah, so I'm not gonna... Hello everyone, always want to see how Vital looks. Looking forward to see, will it release this year? Yes, November 24th. It's official on the website. So, yeah, I'm kind of gearing up, getting everything set up. And then, we'll kind of take a look at what's going on. I'm almost ready, so give me a couple minutes, and, kind of cool that that he said that it's okay to show this VST finally, which is I think going to be very pleasing to you all. And I think that for this stream as well, sorry members, but I'm gonna leave this in public just so that way we can kind of take a look at never mind what I said. You're doing great. I don't know what you said, Sungazer. Oh, I think going live before going live is bad for you views. He said that we could. So what do you mean? How would it be bad for views? He literally just gave us the go. So we're doing this. Yo, what up, Sketty? Yeah, this is gonna be dope. I meant letting people wait while you already booted up the stream? Oh, no. I gotta wait a few minutes so that people can come in. That's what everybody does. Everybody does. It's basically like the warm-up party where music comes in, all that other stuff. And, yeah. Trust me, we'll get started soon. Hope you're well too, man. Burst through the wall? Yes, cool. This is gonna be awesome. Finally. November 24th. This is gonna be a big year for tech stuff. Let me get my headphones on. And, if you would wait 30 minutes, that would be a bummer, but it's normal to let people wait a bit. Yeah, like 5 minutes, I think is okay. Hey everybody, I'm Alckemy. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be taking a look at Vital. I haven't even pulled it up yet. Just trying to make sure that everything works. So hello. Welcome. Hope that you all are doing well. Yeah, checking the pricing. That's absurdly cheap. Holy moly. So is this like going to be Serum 2.0? And that's the big question. And I am here to tell you from what I've done, yes, it's way leaps and miles beyond Serum, and I'll kind of try to go through all the features that I can. I am using a recent version. I don't know if it's the most recent version. If Matt Title comes into the stream, actually, can somebody I would do it. Is it wrong? Will somebody post on the Vital thing that I'm streaming this? Actually, okay, maybe I'll just do it. So let's talk about this for a second. Matt Title has been working on this for, I want to say, like 2 years, and I'm so excited. I had no idea. I don't even know what we're looking at, but it's new. So yeah, Matt Title has been working on this for a really long time, and shout out to Glunk, by the way, because he's the one that kind of put me onto the beta. And if you guys don't know who Glunk is, he's got some wavetables for sale that are like $5 for like 170 and stuff. And I met him through the glitch.cool community, so need to make sure that everybody gets their rounds of who's these shoutouts go towards. And they're just we're in a really good spot with a really great community. So thanks Glitch, thanks Glurk, thanks Matt. And yeah, I'll see you later. Give me a call if you need anything. So with all that being said, we have this new piece of software. Well, I guess it's going to be new to you all who haven't seen it before, but we have Vital and we also have Vital Effects. And here is what it looks like. Mr. Bill has already kind of... Oh, maybe I should make this camera a little bit smaller because I want you guys to be able to see everything. So hold on one second. Let me adjust this. That way I don't really have anything to hide per se. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Move this up here a little bit too. There we go. So this is Vital, and it is very similar to Serum. And I think that in regards to this whole thing, this is a beta. So you'll have to be mindful of that. It is a beta and everything isn't quite working, 100%, although this is a pretty stable version. except for some reason the window isn't full on this, so this is what we're looking at. Now, the way that Vital works is that you have 3 oscillators, and then you also have a SMP, which is kind of like a noise thing, or a sample, I think would be the better way to put this. And within this, we have a bunch of effects that kind of go down here. And I need to see if I can readjust this, because the scaling on this, there we go, kind of wasn't snapping so well. So let me see if I can readjust this. Now, the way that this works is almost exactly like Serum. And he did such an amazing job with this kind of stuff, because it is like, if you know Serum, then you know a lot of Vital. But there's a couple of, well, actually, there's a lot of different things that you can look into this plugin that is going to kind of really make this stand out from other things. The first thing that I want to mention over here on the right is that you do have 3 envelopes, and then you also have 4 LFOs. But you also have, I want to say, 3 different randomizers. There's only 2 right now, but I think that there's a 3rd one that you can pull up. So if you guys know me and the stuff that I like to do, there's your randomization things, and so far they work really well. They have a couple of different styles that you can choose, and then you can also do options between syncing and also stereo, which will kind of do some interesting stuff. But yeah, this has been very beneficial towards making some cool different things. So I guess over here, you've got this little paint tab to where you can create ramps and all that stuff. And you have these different shapes. So creating these LFO shapes are kind of a little bit more streamlined. And then you also have these curvature things that you can use to where if you want to create curves along the line, then it's pretty much robust. And I want to say that if you double click, then you can also do the same curvatures on the LFO shapes. And that's kind of how all this stuff kind of goes into play. You also have your trigger modes. You've got smooth, delay, and stereo. And then you've also got, I want to say that there was something else that I wanted to show with this. These are kind of like where you send everything out in general. But yeah, I don't really use a whole lot of LFO stuff in general. So it's kind of like one of those things. Dude, Vital's not free. Pay this man money. Pay this man money. He deserves it. He worked his butt off for this. So we have options to go between 2D and 3D models, as always within here. And the way that the scanning works is kind of on this knob right here. And so one thing that I want you guys to be aware of is that there's a lot of hidden like kind of sliders on this that you won't be able to tell at first. For example, if you look at this by default, you wouldn't be able to see that there's actually this wavetable slider right here. So, dude, are you for real? No, pay this guy money. So on top of all that stuff, you've got phase rotation up here, which is pretty cool. And then you also have a percentage wise. And then you've also got your unison modes that you can go all the way up to 16 voices. And you can do the detuning here on a percentage base. So it's kind of the same thing, right? Over here, you've got these transposition snaps. So I don't really know how that works, but it sounds cool. Somebody later down the line can tell me and tell me how little I know about this plugin. But I do think I want to say that this is like for, like, this will kind of tune this to, I want to say that, like, here, if I play a note, oh, hold on, I forgot, I have to change my output to here. And I was doing some recording yesterday to none. Sorry about that. Auto tune for wavetable, nice. So yeah, you got your, there we go. So you can kind of actually snap the pitch to be relative to whatever key that is. And that's kind of neat. I was pushing the same one. So over here, you have different kind of like, I don't even know what this is called, but you have these different like spectral shaping things that you can do. That's kind of like vocoding. Also, you have like harmonic stretch and filter types and stuff, which is pretty neat. So this is a really fun thing to do vocoding with. I'm going to pull this back to here so you can actually see what's happening. But if you set something up with this, kind of like some detuning like that, and then kind of go here, then you can do some things along that nature. And then you've also got these different warp modes that you have between sync, formant, quantize, bend, squeeze, pulse, and then your FM stuff. And so the FM stuff is pretty much the exact same thing compared to, how do I say, is actually like the exact same thing compared to how it would go in Serum, of how like you can set this to go here to here to here. It's just a little bit more streamlined, so you know exactly where the routing goes, if that makes sense. let's go ahead and turn this on, and we will grab the volume here and turn that down. And then maybe let's play with a different mode here and see if we can get something a little bit more dramatic. Let's go ahead and come back over here to basic shapes and take a look at this mode. There we go. So like, you don't really have to go really far to get some cool stuff after like just doing a couple different things. And I really love like the 60 frames per second like refresh rate. That just like is so good for, I'm gonna just go ahead and turn off my webcam because I don't really want to mess with this. That's just so cool for I guess like presentation, right? Sorry, coffee. So yeah, there's some wavetables and stuff to choose from. I'm sure that Mr. Glork is in here somewhere, and you can go ahead and look over those things. I don't have any presets or any wavetables that I've made per se, but I have gone and made some of my own presets. So if we go into here, this is the preset browser. You can go to user and find your own. I've got 5 that I've made. I don't know if this is going to be released with this or whatever, but we can kind of take a look at some of these things that I've made. So one thing that I wanted to kind of bring up, just so that we have like a complete patch, is that once you have your oscillators and stuff kind of sent through in the way that it wants to go, this immediately goes into 2 different filter sections, which is actually pretty cool. Now, it's kind of different the way that these work, so you'll have to get used to it in that way. So hold on, I'm actually going to resize this so that way we'll fix the window, because again, we're still in beta. There we go. So, but you do have different routing options with this, and then you also have the ability for one to change the blend mode here. So this is kind of like how it morphs in between. You have your resonance right here, and then you've also got your filter cutoff down here. And so like I was talking about before, you'll have to kind of be mindful about what you're doing whenever, well, you have to like use your eyes and kind of like pinpoint some of these things, because for a really long time I couldn't find the resonance over here. But once you get used to it, it's not that bad. So let me go back, and then we'll kind of go back into this one, and this is what this one sounds like. This is just kind of like a nice little like growly kind of whoop sound that I think is kind of cool. And if we go over here and look at all the effects, we've got a chorus. This chorus is badass. This is like goes up to 16 voices. We've got different frequency things that you can do, 2 different delays. The cutoff and all that is really nice, how this can be automated and stuff. And I really like this visual thing that kind of shows you what the chorus is doing. We've got our standard reverb that's pretty much exactly the same, maybe not, other than the actual algorithm. The chorus frequency and the chorus amount is kind of nice that you can add to this. So that's kind of like a diffusion type thing, I think is really neat. And then this EQ is kind of strange because it doesn't behave in the same way that you would think within Serum in its own right. And the reason why is because you can actually do up to 3 different filters at the same time. But the way that you highlight these, like, you have to click on the band and then you have to turn it on in order for that to go. So you click on low and then it brings up the controls, and then this is like the activation button. So in order for all of these to work, you have to click on each of these and then turn them on. And then you can go and change between the individual parameters. So it's a little bit backwards, but that's by no means anything bad. Then we actually go into our actual dedicated filter section, which is the same ones as you have from the other tab. And there's some really cool filter types on here that I think you guys will be pleasantly happy kind of messing around with. And yeah, we go into the filter section here. Or sorry, the phaser section, and I just think it sounds good, man. It's just one of those things that like you have to get a feel for, how do you say, sorry, coffee. You have to get a feel for kind of how it sounds. No, it's also in VST2. Wait, that's not a standing phaser. No, well, it's right now it's not. Oh, it's a joke. But yeah, you can set this to freeze, which is kind of cool. And it kind of has this nice little visual, and then you can also change the, again, resonance and cutoff and stuff that kind of comes into that. The distortion tab has left me a little bit to desire, to be honest. It's not that these are bad by any means, but I really would miss the wavetable, or sorry, the wave shaping aspect that you have of it, but that might be included in another update. And I do think that the filter on this, or sorry, the distortion does sound good. But as you can see, I've used this in the exact same way that you would on a Serum patch. You can see that the cutoff is here. We've got our blend, then we've got our resonance, and this drives really hard. So down at the bottom, we've got our compressor, and this one is really difficult because it doesn't come with the OTT setting. Like, you can do the OTT on this, but this is more of like an actual dynamics, multiband dynamics from Ableton than it is like a dedicated, like, how do I say, what's it called, like a dedicated OTT preset, if that makes sense. And then one thing that's also cool about this is that you can like kind of separate this into single bands or also low and high band. So with this being said, like, you have your same controls of where you can automate or kind of like change the thresholds between all this stuff, and then change like your upwards compression, your downwards compression and whatnot. I'm still getting used to this. This is still like, I don't think that this patch is as loud as it can be on its own, but that's because of the compression, and it makes a huge difference when you do stuff with this. I don't think it sounds bad by any means, but but I definitely need to spend more time with trying to figure out this kind of stuff. And again, it's different. It's different than doing this in Ableton and also within Serum or regular OTT as well. It's just, it has its own character that you'll have to spend some time with. So we can take a look at some of the other effects that I haven't used. The delay is freaking awesome. Actually, let me pull up a different patch, and I know that I actually have a delay on here. So with this in particular, there's this really cool visual again in this window, and this is just a generator that I've made, because I wouldn't be me without generators now. But as you can see, it has actually up to 4 different randomizers on here that you can see that there's like a bunch of different things that this is mapped to. This is kind of cool because this reminds me of Smarties. But obviously by having the randomization options, you can just create a ton of different variations and stuff with that. So sorry, back to the delay. This will kind of show you what you're doing within your delay thing, but other than that, the features on this are pretty standard. Again, I just like this little filter thing right here. It just, the overall presentation of this, when I first saw it, reminded me of like kind of like black concrete with chalk or something. And it's kind of got a really nice overhaul from the get-go, but it's definitely kind of come down over. Is it possible to import custom wavetables in the oscillator section? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think what you would do is go to here, and then what you would do is you would just find your folder of wavetables, and it also, yeah, you can get more wavetables by Glorklunk. That's pretty funny that that's already up there. Yeah, so you just go to add a folder, and then you can do that. Does it run on Linux? That's a good question. I think it does. I don't know though. Yeah, you can do text to wavetable, you can initialize, you can, I like that you can just right click and save as a wavetable, and then the same functions that you can do in Serum, you can go to resynthesize the preset to an actual wavetable, which would be interesting to see because this is a generator, so I don't know. Can you import images as wavetables? I don't know. You might have answered this, but I'm doing homework. I really want to see random LFOs. Okay, so that's over here in this section, and they all just kind of look like this. So let me try a different maybe generator right here, and you'll start to see how all this stuff works. Hey, is Cuz from UX possible? I don't know what that means. Let's not discuss Serum here. So all those questions that you guys are asking me regarding like all the questions that you guys have about like the CPU efficiency and stuff, like you guys have to be mindful that I'm using a beta, so that I won't actually be able to report anything on that until it actually drops. There are different skins, but he specifically said that I can only use the default skin, and I actually haven't personally seen the other skins, so I'm not quite up to date on that. This is a great deal because you can use the basic version as a trial and then get the Plus or Pro later, right? And I think that like a lot of that stuff is a lot of the like factory content that was from submissions from the Discord community. So I don't even know if these presets in here made the cut or not, if he's gonna have these or whatever, and if he doesn't or whatever, then I'll put him out. But he had a massive amount of presets submitted, like a ton of stuff, ton of content, and that's really exciting. So yeah. So aside from that, you also have an actual dedicated sampler. And while this can't do granular by any means, this can kind of like have independent routing between all these, which is kind of nice. I forgot to mention that. So like if you wanted one thing to go straight to filter 1, then you can do that. If you wanted another one to go straight to the effects or direct out, all of these can be set in that way independently. And regarding that stuff, within this, you can kind of just pull up your own sample or whatever. So you can go to add folder and then pull up your sampler or whatever. I'm not going to get too much into that, but it's pretty easy to kind of do that. I'm not going to try any drag and drop features because I'm also in Bitwig beta, and that's kind of one of those things that can be quite cumbersome. Excuse me. But regarding like saving presets and stuff, I do like that it has these archetypes kind of already set up for you, and then you can like add your comments or whatever within this. So it's really just clean. It's really clean, but there's a lot more that we want to talk about. So this is the voicing stuff and this is the effects, but we want to go to the matrix. So the matrix has modulation remapping on here, and this is one of the biggest features I think is going to be absolutely incredible with pushing forward on this. Are there sequencer presets? I don't know. I'll take a look later. So between this, whatever modulation you have between here, you can actually set specific curvatures and envelopes on here to kind of follow suit. And what that basically means is, like, let's say I have a randomizer on one of these things, you can actually kind of go in here and give it a particular bias in order to make the sound kind of do that. And I believe that I've done that on at least 1 or 2 of these. So let me kind of scroll through here. Yeah, so right here I've got some different modulation mapping that it's set to random, and so it's going to pretty much have this kind of like characteristic within the randomizer here. How accurate is the modulation? If I want exactly 12 semitones, does it match this? I'd have to find out. Let me come back to that in a bit, okay? So which comes sort of close to granular? Well, not exactly, because granular manipulates audio in a different way, but this has modulation between the MIDI that you can import, right? So it's kind of a different deal. But I will say that I ran out of modulation like sources that you can do. I think we maxed that out one time in Serum. With this one, I haven't run out yet. So I think that as long as your CPU can handle it, you can keep adding modulation sources to this. And I think that's a huge advantage compared to Serum. Oh, the stretching feature. Okay, yeah, I'll go back to that in just a sec. So yeah, you've got these different options that you can choose from. You can even import your own like custom quote-unquote modulation curves, just like you can over here. So beside having the modulation capabilities of the envelope, LFO, and randomizers, each modulation source has the ability to have its own like modulation curves. So that, like, this is huge. Like, this is pretty substantial. This is actually one thing that this has over FacePlant. And you guys know me, and I love FacePlant. That's like one of my all-time favorite synths. I pretty much do everything in FacePlant now. But having the ability to do something like this is relatively unique, at least compared between like the 3 synth powerhouses, I'd say. And before somebody goes off and tells me about Falcon, like, dude, Falcon is something entirely different. We're not going to talk about Massive or Massive X. Those are not even close to being on par. So over in the advanced section, we also have even more stuff that is really freaking cool. So between the oscillator options that we have, we can do like, we can manipulate the how do you say, we can manipulate the unison mode. So what that basically means is that kind of like in the unison modes that we have in Faceplant, you can choose between all these different options here. But we also have more options that you can do, like a detune range. So like if you wanted to set detuning kind of like way wider, then you can do that. And then you also have these different options here where you have the ability to spread your distortion, you can spread the spectral aspect, you can spread the table, and these are modular. So what that basically means is within something simple, so let's go ahead and initialize the patch. Here we go. Let's go ahead and set this to 3 voices. Okay, 4. So within this, if you start taking a look, like this is going to drastically change the sound. Maybe not drastically, but let's go ahead and add just a little bit of distortion to this. And then let's go ahead and maybe make this just a little bit more interesting. Let's go to squeeze or bend. And let's try a minor chord. So now that like we kind of have this stuff, like it's kind of hard to tell, but within subtle nuances like this, you can really go really far in depth with your kind of detuned, like with your respaces or anything of the sort, and that usually to me sounds really nice. And within this, like it's just another option of control for having how you can kind of spread like your unison out, and more control in unison means that you have these more nuanced sounds within this kind of thing, right? So it's pretty, this is like going to be something that I think honestly is going to be slept on, to be honest, because there's some really cool options that you can do within this. I'd have to mess with this a little bit to really kind of flesh out what I'm trying to identify, but rest be assured, or let it be known, like this is a really amazing feature that I think you guys will really enjoy. So over here, aside from this, we have different oversampling options, and then we also have voice overriding, so you can choose to kill or steal. So that's just kind of like your multiple voicing modes. And then you've also got some voicing options that you can do that's pretty cool as well. So let me see, is there anything else that I wanted to cover with this specifically? Here in a minute, we'll just get to doing some like patch stuff. Yo, Hakubo, thank you so much. Let me add, that means that I have to add to the goal. I really appreciate that. I'll talk about the goal later because that's something, but thank you, man. I really appreciate that. This better make some noise. So snap to grid and LFO as possible? Yes. I'm going to answer all of your guys' questions that I can possibly can as soon as I'm done covering the features. So within here, this is kind of like our wavetable maker. I want to say that this is harmonics that you can draw in. Yeah. And then you've also got your bends, right? And then over here, you've got these different kind of like shapes that you can draw within this. That is pretty cool. And the way that this works is kind of like by connection. So you connect one to the other in this way. And then you can kind of set these to kind of do different things along that nature. And this is something that I haven't really messed around a whole lot with, but it's kind of an interesting concept to kind of mess around with in that way. Let me see, anything else in particular? Yeah, I mean, like, this is pretty straightforward for the most part. And is this better than Serum? What do you think? Yes, this is going to be way better than Serum. And for many reasons why. Just because to me, this is a natural evolution of Serum. And no, it's not Steve Duda's. And Serum is great, guys. But guys, like, Serum is 6 years old. So like, you kind of have to keep in mind that like it's a really old synth, and like it has been updated. Yes, that's true. And I do think that there are some cool things that it can do, but it wasn't really pushed to it wasn't really pushed beyond the boundaries that Hello, fellow kids. I use the serum. It wasn't really pushed to beyond the boundaries that I think that Matt Title has kind of done. I've been following Matt Title on Twitter for ages, and it's like the first piece of software I was ever hyped for. The stereo independent modulation is what got me, and can't wait for this now. Yo, for some reason, Hakubo, I don't think that that made any noise, and come on, feed. What's up with that? What's up with that? Anyways, have you seen Blockhead? Nope. Next thing would be a spectral thing, and it's in Vital. I'm super happy. Woohoo. I think that you all should be hyped for this. I'm hyped for this. I think that, like, again, as far as like direct sound design, how do you compare Vital with Bitwig Grid and the new wavetable functionality? I think that honestly, like, this is so much more streamlined. And like you have to consider that the grid and Bitwig is incredibly powerful, but the speed at which you can work is heavily diminished because of the workflow, right? And there's also like there's also like a lack of control that you have within the grid itself, and then there's also like a lot of things that you can do within the grid that allows you to kind of push things further, if that makes sense. So within this, the fact that everything is kind of at your fingertips is really easy. But again, like with the grid, like you can have like so many different things that you can go beyond what this does, right? And technically, like you can still continue to stack effects because there is Vital effects on here, just like how that's been included with Serum. But for me personally, like I would want to, okay, I guess I'm not going to pull that up. But just know that exists, and it's pretty much Serum Effects 2.0. But within all this stuff, like you still don't have the ability to have like a bunch of like, you still can't stack effects, right? So you can't have multiple effects and snap-ins that are like quote unquote modular or whatever. So that's kind of like the thing. Oh, one thing that is super sick. So do you guys see do you guys see how there's two notches right here? So whenever you guys do randomizers, you have the ability to put it in stereo. So whenever you do like notch blending and stuff, like you actually have the ability to independently cut these other two. So that's something that's super awesome between that. So if I'm right here and you guys can see this and I hit this in stereo, whatever I have that's automated right here will kind of do that in stereo. And that is another thing that's like, that's fucking awesome. Super duper badass. Now the real question is, how do I compare it to Faceplant? Honestly, I'm still like, personally, I still think that like Faceplant is a much bigger premium and it costs a lot more money, but it has the ability to do a lot more just by its sheer nature of the architecture in which it's built. So while Faceplant has more quote unquote options, I do feel like it caters towards more of like experimental sound design, where I feel like on here within this, I think that this is actually competing towards the Serum market. And within all that stuff, within this in particular, this is really good for purposeful or deliberate sound design. So if you wanted to make something that you wanted to know exactly what it is that you're doing or whatever, I do think that this would be a better option for you. But like we also have to realize that it's too early to call as well. I'm just talking about like feature set. There's certain things within this that Faceplant and I guess the kilohearts stuff like just doesn't have. For example, Faceplant doesn't have, is there random phase start? You can randomize the phase start right here, but you can't, no, I don't, as far as, yeah, you can't actually do that. So what you would do is you go to random and then you would change the phase like that. So yes and no at the same time, if that makes sense. Like this is still a new synth, right? It hasn't even been released yet. And we're still looking at the beta here. My beta expires in 26 days. So keep that in mind. But this is really exciting because it's very promising from what we've seen so far that this stuff is going to be able to do. And I think that like, as far as being an evolution of Serum, like you guys have seen for yourselves, like there's no, this is going to blow Serum out of the water or really make Serum like rethink what they're doing, especially considering price point, especially considering features that will kind of push this into a new place. And I don't think that Matt was trying to take Serum out by any means. I think that this should be more so as a means of like he took direct inspiration and figured out how to take a really good idea and kind of advance it in his own interpretation, right? Because even though the workflow is reminiscent of Serum, it's not quite the same thing. There are a lot of different things within this that do make it unique. And to be perfectly honest, like I really enjoy the interface of this, of how it has really contrasting colors with this gray layout. So, and again, you know, there are features in here that have not been included in Serum yet, and, you know, vice versa. Oh my God, don't tell me this is going to be free as well. Grito was saying that there is a free version. I don't actually know, but this comes out on the 24th. Because Serum really isn't expensive. It is expensive. Serum is super expensive. Isn't it like 200 bucks? I think when I first bought it, it was like 250 bucks. If you're going to cover this, please ignore. I'll gladly wait. But is it also a true algorithmic noise oscillator, or do you need to use samples? I don't know. That's a good question. I think that it's just sample based. I don't think that there's actually a dedicated noise generator. So I think that you just kind of throw, yeah, this is just purely noise stuff. But I mean, you can still create a noise wavetable, right? So there's that. So with Vital, you can choose between free, $80, or the $5 a month subscription, especially considering what you get for it. Yeah, basic version is free. You'll get less presets and wavetables, but that seems to be the only difference. So the other thing to consider, guys, is like not only is this going to be quote unquote free, but I do believe that he's going to be powered by the community and he's going to be working his butt off. Did I discuss text to wavetable yet? No, I haven't. I honestly don't even know what that is yet. So we'll take a look at that in a second. I think Contact, which is like 400 euros, or is that 400 British pounds? And yeah, it's still expensive. You know, money is money. So there's that. But yeah, so you can still make your own like kind of like noise stuff in here and all that. Omnisphere enters the chat. Okay, so like if you want like a massive amount of content that's already made for you, then yes, Omnisphere would be great. But as far as like sound design, I never do sound design in Omnisphere. I never do sound design in Omnisphere. So there's this thing that's text to wavetable, which we can kind of look, and I don't really know how this works. So let's just say Alckemy is a Uber, and let's see what that does. You hit enter, and here you go. You've got a wavetable. Which actually sounds incredible. Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, granted, like I do have some things already set up on here, but what? Okay. First person to donate a quarter, I'll type in anything that you want to say as long as it's appropriate. For a quarter donation, I will type in anything that we can try. Funny thing is, actually, don't do that. If you were to donate a quarter, I wouldn't even get it. So yeah, let's do Plus Pro. Plus and Pro have unlimited text to wavetable. Plus and Pro have unlimited text to wavetable. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean that like you can have like you can type in an essay? Is the same thing generated when you type it each time? What's the limit? Yeah, I'm not sure what the limit is. TTS is limited in the free version because it's a service he has to pay for. Okay. So let's say somebody type a question. Go. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. How's it going? Crickets. Is this all a simulation? So oh, that's what this does. Yo. Okay, so what this does is it's like Microsoft Sam that turns this into the Academy is open. Yo, okay, so I can hear it if you listen to this, right? Listen, how's it going? That is Incredible. Microsoft Sam wants to know your location. That is super duper sick. Wow. Wow. Let's try one more. The Alckemy is open. Never use Serum because I only use Linux. This is why I'm hyped now. Rito, thank you so much for that donation, by the way. I really appreciate it. I can definitely see this being better than Serum, but they have the upper hand in being a go-to synth with tons of tutorials. But dude, the thing is that almost every tutorial that is on Serum is applicable in this. So almost everything will translate. So all that information that we have compiled on Serum is going to pretty much be, you can translate all that stuff and so much easier. So holy cow. Dude, the text to wavetable is incredible. I didn't even know about this feature. I'm like holding my head right now. Yeah, I definitely will. Well, maybe. It depends. I have to find how this is going to work in, or kind of go out into my workflow, because I've kind of taken a different direction and stuff. Excuse me, but I definitely did want to review this, so I definitely will be doing like a full review once Matt actually releases the full version. But yeah, parity has always been the issue. However, lots of these super synths share a lot of features now. I see that people will be fighting over their text they put in there. Can you show the effects section? Yeah, I can go back. So I did already discuss the effects section, and I kind of went through all that stuff, and this video will be public. So if you guys wanted to see all this stuff, then you can kind of take a look. Because I don't want to cover the same information again, but here is all the effects at a glance. And again, the only reason why I'm streaming this is because Matt said that it was okay. So he said we're finally able to stream this, and I'm really excited to kind of show everybody. I don't know if I'm first or not. It doesn't really matter, but right as soon as he pulled that trigger, I was like, I'm going online because this is amazing. Can you add a ramp LFO to loop the phrase? You can. So you would go to LFO1 or something, and then you'd go here, and then you would just basically drag this over to the wavetable, which would be right here. And you would set this to 100%. Maybe we should set this to a slow frequency, like maybe 1:1. And I turned some other effects on, so I'm going to turn those back off. I don't remember what I had on or off, but that's pretty sick. Does it have FM options? Yeah, so that's over here on this knob. So you have FM from oscillator 2, oscillator 3, sample, and then you also have ring mod capabilities as well. And then over here, what would you guys call this? Like, because I'm not really sure what this is exactly. Is there a tooltip that comes up? Oh, okay, so you have spectral morph. I assume Data Broth is also going to do a stream with patch design, no talking, but like a live commentary. Yeah. There is an old video about Google Translator where you type PVZK and make it speak in German and it will beatbox. Curious to see it here. Okay, well, maybe what I can do is come on over to this, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to, we could try that. I don't think that it would do that just because it's a wavetable and not like a talkback thing, if that makes sense. This little bug right here is just from the beta to where like I have to resize the window to get it to reshape, but that's not that big of a deal. There we go. And right click, text to wavetable. Let's see what that does. Spectromorph is one of its selling points. It looks cool. Yeah, I agree. Oh. Maybe a little bit slower. There we go. Can you try text to wavetable in initial preset? I can do that. Text to wavetable. Initialize. Oi, I can't spell. Good grief.
Initialize.
Whoa! Oh my god. Yo! How fucking sick is this? Dude. Yo, somebody tell, please guys, please go support Matt Title and like, dog. What?
Initialize.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Joris is saying that the funny thing is that the text to wavetable also supports accents in both British and Russian. So yeah, I guess you would right click, and I did see some options on text to wavetable right here. So this is, wow. You've got all this stuff. Yo, Hakabo, thank you so much for the membership, dude. I really appreciate it. Also, that's really too kind of you, dude. Really, really unwarranted. Let's try Japanese. Let's try konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Oh, by the way, guys, Hakabo and I are going to be live later tonight at 7 my time. It's 12:41 right now, so we're going to be chopping it up and having some fun later. So maybe we can talk a little bit more about Vital. We'll have a lot of things to kind of discuss as well, so be sure to kind of tune in for that kind of stuff. But yo, how amazing is this? Spotify top 10 soon will only contain wavetable vocals. Where did that Castlevania come from? It's part of like my stream overlay. That's like my thing.
Konnichiwa.
Right. So there's some really sick stuff that you can do in that. I mean, by itself, like I would pay $50 for this. Like if you could just have a text to wavetable that that was like on its own, I would purchase that immediately, because how cool is that? And like, especially like when you talk about like turning this into a Reese or something, right? So like, and if you added some kind of like crazy filtering with this too, so like maybe if we set this into like a randomizer of some sort, let's make sure that it's curved, which I think I want to say that this is curved. And then let's go ahead and set this to here. Sorry. We'll pull the LFO one, that, and then set that kind of just on a ramp like that. Wow. All right. You throw some distortion into this. Can you save the wavetable and put it in other synths? I'm pretty sure. It depends on what wavetable it saves as. So if it's a wave file or a FLAC, then it will work. Matt Title developed this synth by himself, so big ups to him. Sick, dude. Dude, this is so cool. Yeah, so we can go to the cutoff here and maybe set that like that. And one thing that I want to try to see is, okay, so if you right click on this, then you can make it bipolar, and then you can also make it stereo. So this is super sick. That's kind of like what I was talking about before, where you can set the filter to kind of do different things on its own. And that's kind of one advantage that you might want to do within like different filtering and stuff, especially if you want to create like complex stereo basses. We're gonna leave that in mono for now. But yeah, so like if you set the phaser to like freeze, right? Because nobody does that. Just one Duda. That's actually a really good pun. Nice one. So yeah, like you can get into other stuff here and just kind of do the same thing that you would with Serum. But now it's just like there's a lot more toys to play with, right? You can also send this into another filter, which is kind of cool. So instead of only being able to use one filter at a time, he basically said, we're going to take that away, and you can now do two. So the routing that this goes into is going to be kind of filter 1 to filter 2. There we go. And so this should go into here, I want to say. Yeah, Matt Seidel developed Helm. Exactly. So that stuff is all kind of cool and dandy and stuff. But if we go into the matrix and all that, which we can set this to do different things as well, which is cool that you can morph this here as well. Are there any right click things? No, you can enter a value. You can do the same thing, but you can kind of go into, where's the filter here? So like if you have a randomizer on this, which is kind of, we have one on one particular thing, then you can kind of set the bias on this to go here. Rob asked the question if the nodes will snap to the grid, and yes, they do. Yes, they do. So you can kind of set that here. And you'll see that between the specific biases and stuff, that's really cool that this updates in real time too, because you can see exactly how the randomizer is moving between this. And what you have on a linear mode is a value between 0 and 100% that goes on a scale based off of what you have on the amount here. So over here would be 0 amount and over here would be high amount. And so what you can do is create a custom shape in this way to let the randomizer play between all this stuff. So you're introducing a particular bias in this way. This is amazing. This is incredible. I don't know of any other synth that, well, I guess technically Phase Plant can do this on a linear means of going between a value of 0 and 100%, but introducing bias in this way, it doesn't work the same way, and you definitely don't have that same amount of control, right? So that's pretty substantial. Yeah, I have to be careful about what I say, right? Because I don't want to be like, you said bad things about us. Not that they pay me or anything, but yeah. So I guess like what the big question is like, is this better than Serum? Yes, absolutely. Serum most likely will continue to be updated in the future, so these two, you know, will kind of grow with each other. I do think that Faceplant is on a completely different level than what these two have to offer, but you should know that coming into this if you are a sound designer. But even if you have Faceplant, this has enough unique features to stand out on its own. And I can't like, you can't really decide of like, should I get this one or should I get this one? Because the price points are way too different for one. The workflow is completely different. And what it's trying to accomplish is also almost completely different as well, even though they are technically synthesizers, right? There's this like snap-in and modular environment within Faceplant that you're looking to kind of get into, and that's something that I haven't really seen any other synth do. You can technically stack synths, you can stack as many effects as you want in Falcon, but it's really cumbersome and it's not really modular with the way that you can just kind of click and drag things. But with something like Vital, it's dirt cheap. It's $25. Like, how could you? Like, that is so cheap, so cheap. Like, what? Why wouldn't you? For $25, the amount of value that you have within this is just is pretty amazing. Let's mess around with this again and see if we can get anything different. And then once I'm done with that, excuse me, I'll answer all your questions that I have, or I'll answer all your questions that you may or may not have that I can try to answer. Also, the pricing seems to reward sound designers and programmers. Yeah, and like it's another thing that like for me, this is really beneficial too because unlimited text to wavetable is only pro subscription. Gotcha. Okay. How about editing wavetables? Okay. let's go into here, and I'll just turn this off. We'll go into here. Actually, I'll just initialize the preset because this isn't really, I'm kind of just like messing around, not really trying to create something with intent. Okay, so you can do these different things here within wavetables here. And you also have the ability, there's this like timeline over here. And I want to say that this is like your wavetable cycle, right? So within this, you can reset the source and then kind of come over here. There's some options that you can do zooming. You can go into your power scale and all that stuff. The way that this works in particular is this drags from kind of like a node to node. So you can kind of create things in this way. And you can also flip this both horizontal and vertical. So you can do things along that nature. I haven't really spent too much time in this, so like give me a little bit of leeway, yeah? You can also synthesize the preset to the table, as we talked about before. You can export this as a wave. You can export the wavetable. You can import a wavetable as its own. Key tracked LFO. That basically means, I imagine that basically means that whenever you play a note, the speed of the LFO is going to play at a particular speed, yeah? Or is that something that you saw on wavetable in general? On the modifier here, we can do a phase shift, and it looks like you have these like keyframes, I want to say, that you can do over time, which is kind of interesting. And then you can change the style of this into something like harmonic. So maybe over time you have something like this to where it will transform, and then you go enter. Okay, not sure where to go from here, but if we go back to this one, there we go. We can go to waveform blend and go into a smooth spectral blend, and let's see if that changes anything over this. Nope, nothing changed yet. I was reading the website. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract. Totally fine. I think that's what key tracked LFO means though. So that would be that. So within this, how do we connect? Oh, okay. Maybe you have to highlight all of this. There we go. We go to this keyframe. You need 2 frames. So how do you insert another frame? It means that LFO will go the speed of whatever note you're playing. Right. Shift, option, highlight. There we go. I don't know. Okay, so you've got your keyframes, then you have also got your sources. So you've got a wave source, a line source, and all that stuff. So maybe what you have to do is you have to create one with different effects that are over on this one. And then you can create, I want to say, yeah, if you double click this over time, then there, okay. All right, that's what that means. So this is like video editing, it seems to me. So in order for this to work, you have a single value. And if you want this to change over time, then you double click this and add a second keyframe here. So if I wanted to go and make this go all the way over this way and set this one to 0, then theoretically over time, as this wavetable shapes, this should go less and less, I want to say, between all of these. I just don't know how to make those all change together, because theoretically that should be what that does. So if you're holding D0, the LFO will go to frequency of 40 Hertz. I don't remember the actual value. Keyframes are so much more intuitive. Yeah, especially if you're into like, if you know about video editing and stuff, right? But once we have all of this, the only thing that we need to figure out is how to actually make this change over time. I wish that Matt was actually in the stream, because I think that he'd be able to help us out with what's actually going on. So I'm trying to right click and stuff here. Let me see. And enter, maybe? Let's see if that did anything. Nope. Go here. Okay. Let's go here and go to a spectral blend. If you manually change it, adding a new keyframe, it should save the new value. Yeah, I think so too, but that's not what's actually happened here. So maybe what I have to do is I need to create like a new wave, actual wave source, maybe. That might be it too. So maybe if this, and maybe if I change this over time and then just set this to like an actual sine wave or something, or sorry, there we go. Okay, so now, all right. So the way that this works is you have to have 2 wavetables, or 2 different wavetables that this will go in between. And as you can see now, this is dragging back and forth over. Blast, I don't appreciate you knocking my camera over, dude. He just like headbutted my tripod. So yeah, now that we have 2 different wave sources, that's how you can kind of create that. And this will kind of go in between this now. So if we exit out of this and we move that, there we go, and there's our wavetable. What am I looking at? This is the new Vital. This is Vital. From Matt Title. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but... So yeah, that's an interesting way to kind of draw all these, the way that this works, but I do think that this is actually a little bit more intuitive and like has a lot more control. And I don't know if you can do like math and stuff like you can in whatever it is per se, but it is cool that we have the option between all these to kind of morph in between that. I'm dumb. I don't know what any of this is. Sorry. So Vital is a new synth that's come out, and the reason why people were so excited for it is because it's pretty much like supposed to be the new Serum, except made by a different person. And so far, I think that the general consensus of what we've seen so far is really like, this is looking really promising. Do you know if there's direct outs in Serum? Like, if so, are there routing options independently processing for different outs with external VST effects? So I can tell you that you can change the routing options within here, but that's internally within the synth. As far as actually being able to send this into something else, I don't think that this supports multiple outputs, but I'll take a look and see if I can find something that may or may not be similar to that. Those keyframes are super easy to understand and use. Yeah. Well, it took me a second to figure it out, but I mean, again, kind of spending some time with it and just clicking a couple things. It is intuitive. It wasn't that big of a deal. It also has MPE, so that's pretty nice. But as far as actually sending stuff out with its separate outputs, I don't think so. Can you undo changes? There is no undo, as far as I know. I think that's actually a requested feature, but keep in mind that this is a beta. This is not the full version. Like, this is not the finished thing. Alckemy, do you have upcoming factory preset wavetables of any of the pricing options there, or will you access those on release? I don't know. I submitted 5. I submitted 5 presets to here. Oh, hey, there's one. And I don't know if that's going to be within the factory content or whether or not that is going to be like with a pricing option or whatever. But I had more planned, and then my power went out. So that was unfortunately like a major disaster within this, but I'm glad I at least got a few out. So I have 5 that's coming out. It shows like the main things that I do within all this stuff. So we have a couple of generators, we've got some bases, and it's just kind of some things to kind of get you used to this. But keep in mind, like, I still have to learn this since I see 4 of yours already. 05. So there's that one. There's this one. There is this one. And then we have a couple of generators that I made. One thing that I think would be nice is if there was a limiter on here. That would be like, I think I already requested that, or that's been a feature request a long time ago, and I think that that's in the works. But yeah. So lots of neat little cool things that you can kind of get lost in or whatever. Who makes this? Matt Title. Matt Title made this. So those are my presets. I know that it's not much. I didn't have a whole lot of time to actually design stuff, just for particular things that I was doing. However, along all of these things, I do think that a lot of people that you know within the community are going to be submitting things, and I think that this is kind of the reason why I'm excited about this is because this really feels like a community project that one person started that a whole bunch of people got behind. And the synth is great. The synth is going to be super duper awesome. But people like Glorklunk, what filter modes are there? Sorry if it's already discussed. Join the stream late. Does it have credits about splash screen, by the way? I imagine. Nope. Not that I know of. I now suddenly believe in love at first sight. But yeah, this was like a community thing that a lot of people got together on and like really like wanted this guy to like be successful about. And I'm one of those people. Oh, there is a skin designer. Holy cow. So there's also a skin designer. Man, this thing is full of surprises. I can't show this off because he said don't show anything other than the default skin, but just know that that exists. That is directly there. And the way that this kind of works, like with presets and stuff, I don't like Serum's verb. I don't like the skin designer on release. Not sure though. I haven't messed with it, so I don't know. Yo, thank you so much for the follow, Rio. I appreciate it. Sorry, let me go back and take a step. Somebody wanted to see the filter types first. So we've got analog, dirty, ladder, digital, diode, formant, comb, and phaser. So, sorry, I went through those really quick. So these are your options that you have between all of these. And then you've also got your EQ filters here. On the distortion, you've got you have filter types here as well, so you can do pre and post, and then do the blend mode, so you can kind of shift between your low pass and high pass and band. Then you've also got the EQ thing. I think I just said that. Then you've also got the phaser. I think the reverb is okay. It's different, but it's okay. I got to go to school. I appreciate the stream, and now I'm excited for something I didn't know about an hour ago. See you tonight for a podcast. All right, man. Best wishes. I don't think that I'm going to be streaming until you're ready, but I did want to do some coverage over this in particular because nobody's done it, and I really wanted this guy to get some coverage over this stuff. It's because it's super cool. Sorry, let's go through some questions now. So let me go ahead and go to an initial patch, and then we'll test out the reverb, and I'll just tune some of the settings on there so you can kind of see what that sounds like. Okay, let's grab the reverb. And did I skip any questions, by the way? I think that I was doing okay. I looked at the filter modes. We're gonna look at reverb. High optic. Who else has the beta? Glorklunk has the beta, and I'm not sure. I know that Mr. Bill has the beta. I don't know if he did any presets for it though. Oops, sorry. This is Vital. I think it sounds pretty nice, to be honest. So whether or not that's for you is up for you to decide, but I do think that this sounds pretty nice. Ultra clean sound, love it. Yeah, and of course you also have like your options here to kind of manage between low and high. I really like that he integrated like the Ableton style feel of this. Yeah, this is new. It comes out on the 24th. I really like the fact that you can do this kind of thing to mess with. I just love this interface that was part of the stock reverb with Ableton, and I'm glad that it's in here too. That looks really, really nice. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Is this a new synth? Yes. This was Vital by Matt Title. Subscription based or base pay? It's actually free. Yes, you heard me. It's free. Unlike your credit report. Get out of here. Get out of town. Get out of town. Yeah, okay, so I don't really know. According to chat, the model of this is that there's a free version, there's a $25 version with some more presets and stuff. Any major pros against Serum, I mean, in functionality, yeah, we covered them. You'll just have to go back and watch the VOD, to be honest. Rent to own is pretty good for everyone. There's spectral modes. Can I link the website? You can. Well, you can't. I'll have to pull it up. Hold on, stick around for a second, Muslika. I'll summarize a couple of these in just a second, but let's go to, I think it's Vital.com. Nope. Hold on one second. Vital.audio. Okay, yeah. The reason why, so it's not that I'm against you posting links. It's by default, YouTube does not allow links to be posted. So it's Vital.audio here. Surely I don't need to paste that in the chat, but yeah, he literally just released this as saying like, hey, you can show this on stream, you can do all that stuff. So yeah. So have you experimented with Bitwig modulators in Vital? No, I haven't yet. And that's mostly because like Vital has its own modulators built into it. So I haven't really found a reason to warrant with that. Vital.your mom. Your mom's Vital. Can this be used along Ableton as a plugin? Yes. There's also an effects version as well. So you have Vital, and then if you go here, there's also the Vital effects that you can use as well. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to sign into my account right now. I'd more so rather focus on this, but it's pretty much the same thing, just Vital effects. How does Vital compare with Arturia pigments? So Vital does not have... Is the effects version coming out on release? I'm pretty sure, because there's already a beta for that too. So I'm pretty sure that that comes with it, although I don't know if it's included in the pricing model. Yeah, so Arturia has a granular synth. Vital does not, but I would say that I really enjoy the workflow of this so much more than Arturia pigments. So man, even 80 for Pro version is super generous. Sorry for the plosives, guys. Effects version? Yes, there's an effects version. So it's like Serum, but it's like Serum effects, but in the means of Vital. Wasn't there a communications ban on this? Would love to see a new version. There was until just recent when you go into here into the Vital Discord, and I'm not going to pull it up for privacy's sake, but he said it's okay for you to he said it was okay for us to showcase this, so he lifted that, which is why I'm streaming. I think that like for the most part, all of us did a really good job of not showing Vital like he asked. Yeah, I know, right? This never happens. Thanks, everybody. If anybody's here new to the channel, thank you so much for being here, by the way. I really appreciate you all stepping in and just kind of seeing what this is about, but also getting like Vital or whatever, like some exposure. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Alckemy. I do a lot of neuro-based production and IDM and stuff. So if any of you guys are interested in tutorials and stuff like that, that's pretty much what I do. Aside from that, Bronx, honestly, dude, I think that like this is going to take over Serum. Unless if Serum has a like massive, dope, sick update coming out. I mean, the fact that it's free is really going to be something difficult to beat. That's hard to beat, dude. I'm a Serum simp, and that's totally fine, guys. Like you should like what you like, right? There's nothing wrong with liking all that stuff. However, today is a dedicated stream to Vital, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this today. It also sounds amazing. Plus text to speech. Oh my gosh, dude, text to speech is amazing. Okay, so hold on. Who was it that asked about the feature set?
Recording to
let me scroll back up. Yo, MDJ, thank you so much for the follow, man. I really appreciate it. Who asked about... Okay, so Muslika Crew. I don't know if I said your name right. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Let me take a breath. So, there's text to speech on this. So, if I say like, I like potatoes, right? If I play this, listen. Oh, sorry. Ah! So you can change like text into you can change text into a wavetable. Oh my god, the accent. I'm willing to pay $80 for the pro version like today, but I just want to make sure that I'm not duplicating what I already have. I absolutely love the text-to-speech though, with the Japanese accent. Waifu.wave, but for real, Vital looks dope as fuck. Yeah, yeah. I really think that Matt is doing a really good thing here. Not only like for like the sound, not only just like for the music community, but also like for like, how do I say? If you took that and you split it up between like the sound designers and then also the producers as well, not that I want us to be different by any means, it's just, I think this is a really strong thing, and I'm really behind this, and I think that this is just really freaking cool. So it has the text to speech. It's got spectral shaping or spectral morphing onto it that has these different modes, which I have the feeling that it will update in the future. What else do you have? You've got parallel filters on here. You've got independent modulation remapping. So I've kind of already covered that from before. You can look into that. In the advanced section, you've got more unison options. That is really neat. So if you want to, sorry for the Streamlabs pings, by the way, it does its own thing. I need to change it. I apologize. But you can change, like, it just has a lot more parameters that you can really shape like an interesting unison effect as opposed to having like preset algorithms, if that makes sense. And then there's also direct outputs for each oscillator on here. So frankly, I hope this can replace Serum for me. It looks like a breath of fresh air. To be honest, like, I'm kind of surprised that I would enter into Mortal Kombat if this was the prize. Dude, it's free. Why would you enter Mortal Kombat when it's free? Can I ban it? No, don't ban it. Custom unison. Yes, custom unison. Actually, Wiggles, you couldn't ban it that even if you wanted to. But can it wub as good as Serum? To have it now though. Maybe you can ask Vital title for a beta. Yes, it can wub. It can wub. It can wub more than your favorite dub. To have it now though. Serum 2 came out. It's coming out pretty much. It's from a different person, but definitely going to back him. Already have tried since Helm. Yeah, so the same guy that made Helm, which was also I don't remember what Helm looks like, but it was also really good, and then that was also free. And he's basically like, you know what? It's time to do something different, and I know that he's been putting a ton of work into it. The really cool thing is that he's been preset favoriting. He's been taking all of our feedback into account, like all the suggestions and stuff, all that, and that's all been there. And so pay wub sound, I think he meant play wub sound. So you guys heard my stuff. Let's maybe look at some things that he made. So oh, what about warp FM modes in the oscillators? Yeah, that's in there too. I want to say that, how do we get into it? So you have your warp modes right here. So you've got sync, formant, quantize, bend, squeeze, and pulse. I own Helm. I even paid for it. He's got to fix it to stop asking for payment when I've already donated though. To stop asking for payment? What? So yeah, you've got that there. What was I doing? Yeah. That one's mine. This one's also mine. I think that I designed this to be in conjunction with pitch bending, I want to say. I don't remember. This was a while ago. Oh, yeah. Sorry, not trying to advertise my own presets, but those are those kinds of things. Does it actually have random LFOs as opposed to Serum? It does, and it has different randomization modes on it too. So down here on random, you have up to 4 different randomizers, and you can change the modes here. And on top of that, you can also go between stereo and mono, and this is a big deal. You'll just have to see for yourself. I've done some stuff earlier during that. Munchkin warp.
4, 4, 1, 6, 1, 1, 4.
That's creepy. It's actually counting between 1, 2, and 3.
4, 1, 1,
That is sick. That is a cool patch. I can see some uses for this. I think that like this is just, there's a ton of stuff in here that's going to be cool. When a new heavyweight comes out, I'm always switching for fresh air too. Is it heavy on CPU? I can't really say because like this is a beta version and I don't know what the optimization is going to be. So I wish that I could answer that question. I don't know. I'm really sorry. What are the filters compared to Serum? Serum's got some sick filters. The filters in here are different, but you have all of these to choose from. So I'm not going to go through all the filter types, but you can kind of just take a look through there. But there is a healthy amount, which is cool. And the other cool thing is that like almost all of them have some kind of morph on them. When will it be released and free upgrade rent to buy? It comes out on the 24th, and it will be free. And then there's a subscription-based model, which I don't know what the subscription model is about, but November 24th. Don't steal my riff. I mean, you can. I've been watching previews of this for a while now and ready to drop like 100 to 150 bucks on something like this. We'll definitely leave. Can you suggest to Matt some kind of key switching like in Massive X and Alckemy? Yeah, I'll leave it in the suggestions features. Like I guess I do have direct contact with Matt, but we're not like tight like that, if that makes sense. But I'll definitely, he has like a suggestion Dropbox or whatever on his Discord. So Vital has a good amount of basic filters, as in high pass, low pass, band pass, notch, with magnificent sound drives. Also easily key trackable combs and flanges, but Serum has all the miscellaneous filters. How do you assign modulation? Same kind of thing as Serum? Yeah, you just click and drag whatever modulation source you want, and then you go over in this way. And then you can kind of just place that on whatever you want. Oh, that one's also mine. Or using a MIDI note as a modulator. Okay. I'll check to see if those haven't been suggested already. I'll skip past the things I've made. Dope. What is the Discord name? It's Vital Beta. The real question is, does it have OTT? Yes, it does. Yes, it has OTT. If we look right here at the compressor, where is it? Here it is. There it is. Hi, operator. Can I get this to come out tomorrow, please? Hello? Hello? Sorry. That's funny. Sorry if this has already been gone over, answered, but can you load your own wavetables? Yes, you can. And you can make your own wavetables. Is there some noise generator inside of this beast? Not an actual noise generator. You'd have to do it through a wavetable, but it also can allow you to upload a sample. So you can do that through here, and you can just kind of throw in whatever sample you want. One's a little quiet. Alckemy, what application do you mainly use to create your production tracks? I use Bitwig and mostly audio, to be honest. Any stretching algorithms to the sample? Let's take a look, because I don't actually know. If we double click on this, it doesn't look like there is. You do have some cool options here between kind of shuffle playing and stuff like this. I wanted to say that there was something like this. Send me a copy of what? The samples, I believe, are stored in... let's take a look. Right click, open file location. It's stored in factory in the library, in the audio library. So hold on, let me get out of full screen here and I'll kind of show you. So here's your factory content. So you go to library, audio, presets, Vital, factory. Stretching feature is also one of the selling points, IMO. What stretching feature? You mean stretching the wavetable out? What if you lower the pitch of the sample? So that's key tracking right here, right? So, or pitch tracking rather. So if we, let's actually load up a different sample or something. One that won't be as detectable. So we'll turn that off. And then here's your white noise. Let's go into something that's actually like a noise or something maybe. Hello everyone. Welcome to Alckemy's ASMR. If you like my content, consider subscribing. You won't be disappointed. Sorry. So yeah, you can set this on here to the key tracking. So now I just need like a dolphin or something, right? Just like something like that.
Recording to logbook.
Yo, it's kind of strange though. Like, did they not have an option here where Bitwig is for girls? Bro, let's not do that here. 2 weeks left. I'm somewhat hyped right now. You should be really hyped because it's going to be awesome. Yo, Nestor, thank you so much for the subscription. Is there a coarse pitch function? Yes, that would be right here. So you can tune the sample like that. And then here's your transposition. Wait, it's going to be free? Yes, it's going to be free. It is free. Free. So what is this right here? Tooltips would be helpful. So this will cycle this. Oh, this means that playback will go back and forth. So this is kind of like limited. It's not like a fully fledged thing where you can go in and kind of move between that, which kind of blows. But that would be cool if they added something like that, like an actual dedicated sampler to this. But I don't think that's what this was intended for. Is there a phase shift on the LFO? Well, sort of. There's the delay, or sorry, there's this. So I guess not, because that's different. That just means that it's going to play later. But yes and no. I don't think that there is a phase shift on the LFOs. Let me see. There's a grid. No, there's not. There is, however, phase shift on... There is phase shift on the oscillator though, so you can shift the phase here. And then you can also set this to randomize the phase as well. Hold on. Loop point? Let me see. Let me actually kind of cycle through some of these and see if there is something different between this and see if we get some other things. Doesn't look like it. Oh, wait. There is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so remember what I was talking about at the beginning, right? Yeah. Yeah, here it is. So here's your phase shift. So when I first opened this up, one thing that I was talking about was that there's a lot of hidden sliders that are really like hard to see, and so you kind of have to like be really mindful of that. When I was talking about the filter right here, we actually have three sliders. We've got this one, we have our resonance, and then we actually have the cutoff. And when I first opened up Vital, this was really hard for me to find out. I was looking for this in particular for a really long time. Yes, the slider can definitely be modulated. So I think you can even modulate it to itself. Yeah, you can. That's awesome. So if you go here and then you click on this, and we go like that. and you go there, then you can modulate that. So if you set the LFO frequency to freeze and modulate the LFO phase, you can have full manual control over the LFO position. So that would be cool if you wanted to LFO and LFO, or like set like a multi-stage envelope to this, because right now LFO 3 is modulating LFO 4, but if you go into the matrix section and go here, you can actually set a custom parameter driven or custom bias towards the other LFO. So it'll only go in between these values here, which is freaking amazing. The distortion is kind of leaves somewhat to be desired. Can I load tuning files? I don't know. There's only these different modes, but they do sound really good. Soft clip in general sounds like this is probably going to be my go-to. Soft clip by default is really nice. So it would be cool if we had like tube, or if we had like a wave shaper feature, but I think that's already been suggested in the thing. So I don't know. Samuel, thanks for helping me out on this stuff that I don't know about, by the way. Like I'm not an expert on this synth by any means. I'm just kind of opening it up and seeing what it's all about. So yeah, if you set this to something different now, like maybe the detuning, I don't know. Oh, that's really fast. Huh. That's still really fast. There we go. That's a little bit more consistent now. So I guess maybe this would be a little bit more predictable with something else, like the cutoff. 16. If you need to make bubbles or something. That's pretty silly. So, wet. It also has full MPE support. That's right. So if you go into the advanced over here, then you've got your MPE enabled stuff. Oh, I forgot, dude. I totally forgot. This has a spectrum built into it and an analysis thing. So take a look. So here's your wavetable, or here's your waveform rather, and then here's a spectrum that this is actually playing. This is incredible, and something that like I think that almost every synth needs something like this. So if you go up and you pull up like an actual like preset or something, let's find a different one. Oh, these are all Matt title. So let's find a different bass maybe. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's freaking sick. So this is something that I think is really going to be useful. I wish that there were a way. It has its own dedicated randomizers in here. So it has up to 4 different randomizers. And if you know my sound design, you know that that's what I do. But I see it has audio rate modulation. Are there many routing options? Yeah, I mean anything. Oh, you mean like routing options to outside? Has it got a sequencer ARP? No, it doesn't. Well, technically, yes, but technically no. You would have to, if in order for you to make a sequencer out of this, you would have to do it in the LFO section. And then you would have to set it to a pitch. IMO, the randomizers are much better than Serum Chaos. There's much more than better control over them. Yeah, so if you look right here, I've got 4 randomizers on stuff, and like I love to do the generator thing. So like Faceplant, I presume to do FM stuff. Yeah, yeah. So the sample and hold is kind of like your step sequencer. You've got Perlin, which is kind of curved, and then you've got like a sine, and then you've got this Lorentz attractor, and I have no idea what kind of shape that is, but that does exist. You can set these to sync on here, or you can set these to free time, I guess, if you wanted to, or key tracking. But I think that was the main thing that set Faceplant ahead of the others. Yeah, Faceplant like combined Serum, FM8, what else? Like frequency splitting, it's like half of a DAW, right? It just, I think that there's two main things that people really want from, oh, it's like a butterfly lazy 8, gotcha. I think the two main things that people want in Faceplant is a sequencer or an arpeggiator, and then or like a dedicated arpeggiator rather, and then also and then also a granular synth. So those are two like main features I feel that are missing from Faceplant from being like everything. PP poo poo. Some of you guys come in here just being heathens. Welcome, Mark, the real Markahan. Can you put a key tracked LFO on the phase? Yes. For more FM and PM, I'm pretty sure you just go to, where is key tracking on here? It should be, I think key tracking is right here. So this would be like your note and stuff. And then you would set that to your phase and then this here. Oh, hi, Mark. You know each other. All right, I think this is enough. I'm definitely trying this. Thank you for sharing this. Yeah, thanks for coming in and taking a look. You can kind of make a granular synth with the sampler and a bunch of modulation. Definitely, like, it's not like a dedicated granular synth, right? But the thing is like, with Faceplant, I have this one patch in particular, and also like Lapidus, guys, if you don't know, he makes like some really sick, like, he makes a lot of patches that I do as well that, I don't know, I'm a fan of your sound design. So with Faceplant, stuff like this, you can take samples and all that and kind of like make them go at such a slow way. Man, good for you people actually donate to you. I have $1.33 on my PayPal. That's okay, man. Where you can create stuff like this.
Recording to logbook.
Yo, thanks for the sub. So you can definitely get like granular type stuff out of this. Click the right of an LFO speed parameter and then select key track. Oh, on the modulator, right? Gotcha. Yeah. So you go here and maybe not. Oh, on the modulator you said. Wait. Enter value. Hey, the bot's malfunctioning. Click the right of an LFO speed parameter. Oh, sorry. Okay, gotcha. Here. You can go to key track in this way. There you go. So you can do that there and then kind of set your LFO or whatever to the phase and then your sync / FM, which is what that would be. So, gotcha. Hey, the bot's malfunctioning. Wait, what? Making sure that I'm caught up on chat. So yeah, does anybody else have like questions and stuff? I super chat, but I'm saving up for like 25. Dude, don't worry about it. I'm just like, honestly, I have never had this many viewers in my entire life. So thank you all so much for being here, really. And if you guys like the content, then consider just subscribing for like a bunch of tutorials and stuff. So like, this is super cool. I've never had this many people in my chat before. Is there a smooth curve randomizer, like a Turing-ish thing? I'm not familiar with those randomizer modes options. And join the Discord. Yeah, so the Perlin is kind of like your smooth thing. This would be where everything is kind of like mellowed out, and you can see the curvature right here. There's also some other ones here. Might be because you got Serum 2 in the title. It's totally Serum 2. It's totally Serum 2. Like, okay, it's not made by Serum 2, or it's not made by Steve Duda, but how could you not say that this is Serum 2.0, right? So this one is a stepper here. I'm playing THPS at the moment. At the same time, listen to this. Great talk through. Cool, man. Thank you so much. Done. Just joined. Yeah, my Discord has a bunch of amazing people in there, so to interact with and all that stuff. Let's see. This one is siner interpolation. And then somebody just described that the Lorentz attractor is kind of like a weird, funky, like figure 8 type thing. So the thing to consider, like, especially with these kinds of things, it's the same as chaos in Serum 1. The thing to consider with this kind of stuff is that, like, you can definitely make generators within this, but because I'm limited to only a specific amount of effects, like, there's only so far that I can go, and so it is somewhat limited in that way. The cat's me, lol. However, you know, if you're used to doing this already, then you can start to stack like vital effects on here and continue to do the same thing. They just have a hard time interacting with each other. So somebody asked me if I had already started using the modulators that are within Bitwig on this stuff yet. And I guess in that scenario, when you want to take a patch even further, then you can add your modulators to here and then use the same modulators on the vital effects. So that would make sense. However, the thing about Faceplant is that you can do everything just within the patch. So that's still not a thing. Hopefully, like, but both between, like, one thing that I really want, wait, does it have separate effects like Serum? Yeah, it does. So like one thing that I really wish, sorry, that both Vital and Serum would do is have the ability, instead of like the vital effects thing, like, okay, it is cool, but I really wish that they would adopt the stacking effects in here, regardless of CPU, or I guess like that should be the only limitation that you should have. Like more EQs, more flangers, or whatever, like right click and then go into a snap in or whatever. That's kind of what I think would be like, that's what I think would help this kind of step into the market against something like Faceplant, I guess, if that makes sense. No PayPal only transaction. Dude, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But that is one thing that I still feel limits a lot of these synths, you know, like these in particular, because while these effects are great, and I do think that they sound amazing, I don't like the fact that I have to open up another program or another VST or another plugin in order to continue processing it in this way. And so while it's not that big of a deal, the fact that I have, the fact that it's an extra step for the workflow is just another thing to kind of like be mindful of, I guess. So stacking effects brings a problem with automatable parameters. Like in Faceplant, you can stack them, but you have to map everything to a macro knob that you want to automate. Okay, exactly. But the difference between that, though, is that it still is possible if you're in Bitwig or Ableton. No, you can't use two of the same effects, and that's kind of what we're talking about. So if I wanted to have everything mapped, as opposed to doing the randomization in-house, what I would do is grab and set up all the parameters that I wanted to, and then use the randomizers here as a nested device to send that out to all the vital effect stuff. Does that make sense? So hold on one second. Let me see if I can actually, I wasn't going to do this, but now that this has become important, let me see if I can actually log into this. I don't remember my email. Hold on one second. There's no user. Oh crap. I'm like trying not to narrate my password to email. Okay, there we go. Oh, the beta expired. That was quick. Okay, I can't download the beta of Vital Effects. That's okay. But in any case, right, let me close out of this then. Let's just pretend, hold on, this is fine. I'll just use Serum Effects. F. Okay, so let's say like, let's just pretend like this is Serum Effects, right? Or let's pretend like this is Vital Effects. So what you would do is you would drop this into here, like so. Oh, come on. And you would add a randomizer like this. And what you can do, and you can stack as many Serum effects as you want to or whatever, but what you would do is you would set this to modulate the similar parameters here, and that way you have a universal thing. Does that make sense? Unfa also does a YouTube live about Vital. There was some talk about stacking effects of Vital beta discussion a few months back, although I don't know how it's progressed since, as if Matt is actually considering it. Is it possible to drop a drum loop in as a wavetable? I don't know. We can see if we can drop a wave source in as a wavetable. Let's see if it works. So this is like using Ableton's LFO to it. Yeah, sort of. Actually, yes, it is. Except the modulators on Bitwig are a little bit more robust. So if I grab this, okay, you can Oh, cool. So if you drag a sample in, you can set it as a wavetable, as vocode, or as a pitch splice. I don't know what this means, but it's something. So that's pretty cool. Let's actually go into a new preset and try that instead and see what that does. Though I don't even make music anymore. Remember your mappings? It should remember your mappings. Stream go burr. My stream is messed up. It doesn't say that I'm dropping any frames. I've dropped 0 frames. I don't think that's on my end. So within this stuff though, kind of like what I was saying, was like to make this kind of more modular, kind of like phase plant, what you would do is, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm not dropping any frames. YouTube is being dumb. Okay, it's not me, literally. Okay, hold on. Just so that we're clear. It's not me, guys. Look, I've dropped 0 frames. None. This is a smooth 60 FPS stream, my friends. Silky smooth. Can you quickly show the filters and warp modes? Yeah, I can do that again. Although, hold on, let me finish this idea that I was talking about really quick and I'll go back to that. Okay, so phase plant, you can do multiple snap-ins. Vital and Serum, you only have a limited number of effects. So what you have to do is to set a nested device, and then what you do is you grab modulators from something like Bitwig or Ableton, and you set a host modulator / randomizer into multiple things from here. And so while it is annoying that you would have to go and find whatever it is that you want to automate and you can't have a visual, it's still definitely possible to create a really complex Discord. You guys are killing me right now. To create a really complex kind of like generator or type of like complex sound by having this workflow mindset as opposed to just trying to do everything in the box. So with all that being said, I can get rid of this. Sorry I couldn't show you guys Vital effects. I wasn't prepared to do that, to be honest, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and initialize again, and we can take a look at our filter types. So we have a choice between analog, dirty, ladder, digital, diode, formant, and comb. So we've got this, and like most of these are like the same. There's only maybe a couple that are different. The algorithms on these are really good. Excuse me. However, they don't have like the crazy filter types or whatever that you're used to from something like Serum. So there is no reverb filter as far as I know. But to be honest, like personally, I don't like any of those. The German one was okay, but the typical like rhythm filter thing, in my opinion, was like whatever. Sorry, reverb filter. It's, yeah. Can you show wavetable modes too? Yeah. The chorus effects kind of makes up for the no reverb filter. So we've got between sync, formant, quantize, bend, squeeze, and pulse. So I guess this is neutral. So you have downward syncing and upward syncing. That's kind of sick. You've got formant. You have bend, minus and plus. You have pulse. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. I think squeeze. Then you've got pulse. That one's pretty cool. But can you FM from B? FM, you can FM from 2. What's the highest rate of LFOs? Would be cool if we can audio rate modulate weird parameters. Hold on one second. So you have that, but then you also have spectral morphing on here. So you've got vocoding. You have performance scale. You've got harmonic stretch. That's pretty cool, actually. You have inharmonic stretch.
Recording to logbook.
Thank you so much, Evangelos, for the sub. Appreciate it. You've got smear. You have random amplitudes. Oh. Sick. Nice. Are different from Serum or are just named different? No. So you don't have as many warp modes, but with the spectral morphing that you have, you can do both FM and spectral morphing at the same time. So it's a little bit like you kind of have the best of both worlds, in my opinion. You've got low pass, which is just a filter type. High pass, also filter type. You've got disperser. Granted, this is to a much deeper degree. You've got shepherd tone. It's kind of cool too. We both grounded at the same time. You've got spectral time skew. I don't know what that actually does. Maybe if we see if this will do something a little bit different. Time skew only works on wavetables. Okay. Wait, is this not? All right, let's give that a try then. Let's go to basic shapes and see what that does. Oh, dude, this is like a frequency shifter. It scrambles the frequency bins. Yeah, I guess like when you turn it in real time, though, it sounds kind of like what you would get from a frequency shifter, right? Thank goodness for Samuel. Yeah, Samuel, you're over here carrying this. You're over here carrying my stream, so thanks. Not gonna lie, that was actually fire. Hyped. Is it November 24th yet? Do you know if the spectral morph is happening before or after the FM? It's most likely happening before, I want to say. I mean, I feel like if it was going to happen after, then it would be switched, right? People should really consider paying for this amazing VST. I think so too, man. I think that Matt did a great job, and that's kind of what this stream is for. I really just wanted to, like, there's a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish with this, but getting this synth known was definitely one of them.
Recording to logbook.
Which one do I use, Serum or Vital? I don't use either. I use Phase Plant. Thank you so much, Johan, for the follow. I appreciate it. Can you modulate macros? Yes. Oh, actually, Samuel just answered it for me. Yes, you can. I use Faceplant a lot too. Yeah, Faceplant is, I have a home there, and the stuff that you can do is just... I was told this is going to be free. You're correct. That was one thing I wish Serum had. Being able to modulate modulators, or what? I think Faceplant is missing cool warp modes and filters, even if you can recreate warp modes with Faceplant modulation, but it's so hard. I guess. I don't know. I regret buying Serum a while back now. Free, but a few non-free versions. Yeah, there is a premium version, and I would highly encourage you all to support this guy, because, like, why wouldn't you? Like, he's put so much work into this, and it's really, like, to me, this is really going to pay off. Basic plus Pro, subscribe. What are the text to wavetable capabilities? I read on the website, and now I want to know how it works. Long story short, it's sick. Long story short, it's sick. What does Vital do that Faceplant can't. There's text to speech and then left R filters. The stereo filters is a big thing, though. Faceplant can do that with snap heap. That's true too. Yeah, like you could do like mid side, I guess. You can modulate how do I say this? You can remap mod sources. So and this is something that would be kind of difficult to do, I feel, in Faceplant in particular. But if you go into the matrix here, right, you've got an LFO, and right now it's going on a linear level. But what you can do is you can set a multi-stage envelope that the modulator here will carry through. So not only do you have your LFOs, but you can, on each modulation source here in the matrix, you can customize like the bias that you have on this. And like this is a killer feature. There's also more advanced unison modes, I want to say. It's got a built-in spectrum analyzer. What else? It has MPE enabled by default. And then I guess like it just has some other like quirks and stuff. So, you know, it is like I gotta go to sleep equals AQ. Yes, you can. Wait. Sorry, I pretty much only use Faceplant now. Oh my cheese, yes. Damn, this synth is wide as it seems Serum is still worth it, to be quite honest, especially if you use reverb combs all pass filters. Yeah, but when workflow shifted away from it, I don't use it that much anymore. I almost never open Serum anymore unless if somebody asks me to be honest. Hakubo, I think Hakubo left, but if you guys want to learn stuff about Serum, like I would definitely lead you guys to Hakubo. I accidentally typed equals AQ instead of sad face. Lol. Yeah, Vital better than Serum. I think so too. I have not been paid. You guys doing a stream later tonight? Yeah, Haku and I are gonna hop on kind of like a podcast later tonight. Django, I'm actually glad that you're here because I really want to get you on later as well. I really want to do something with you, like I've been talking about for a long time. So I haven't forgotten about you. Can you show some of the spectrum analyzer a bit? Just find that feature so cool. Yeah, you just go to the advanced tab right here, and here is the waveform up top, and then down here I have to resize this. You've got your spectrum analyzer. So that's pretty cool. Disconnect. Faceplant doesn't have MPE support or microtonal tuning support, while Vital has both, so there's another advantage. But so you guys have fun later. Okay, man, take care. I think every synth has its strong point. I'm waiting to throw my Sensal Morph at this thing. As I mentioned in another stream, Falcon is tedious and Faceplant doesn't support MPE yet. If you're in Bitwig, it does, but by default, no, it doesn't. So that's halt. But it's amazing how the developer went from Helm to this. 8 times oversampling too. Damn. Cool. All right, so without you all leaving, can I use the restroom really quick? I'm asking for permission. I'm going to use the restroom really quick. Don't go anywhere. I'll answer some more questions in just a second, okay? But I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. And just like that, I'm back. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Alckemy Show, where I am covering the new Vital from Matt Title. Hopefully, all of your burning questions will be answered, and you will find yourself on whether or not this is the synth for you. Could you go back over how bias remapping works? Can we map independent curves for, say, 2 different knobs from one mod source? Yes, you can. Yeah, people just never paid more than $1. Yeah, to be honest, like, as a content creator, if you put something out for free, expect people to take advantage of that. I don't mean that in a mean way, but okay, so let me see. I've got a bunch of free stuff on my website, and out of the hundreds of people that have purchased that stuff, 3 people have actually paid for it. That's not a complaint because I put it out for free. But if you put something out for free, expect it to be taken for free. Otherwise, charge money for it. That being said, I really hope that people do support Matt. Can you go back over how the bias remapping works? Yeah, so you go into the matrix here, and whatever modulation source you have a mod remap mode. So that's why I put all my patches on GitHub. If we, hold on, let me go and actually map something here. Let's just set the LFO here to like the time skew. Sure. And then on the matrix here, you can remap everything. So let's say like there's this one, right? I can remap this to whatever it is that I want. Then if I go and grab the same LFO to say this, which doesn't really matter, it's just something, right? Then if I click on this one, I can also remap this independently. So even though I'm using a single mod source to control these, I can introduce multiple biases between all of these. And that's kind of how that works. I think his new payment scheme looks like a good plan for him to support Matt. Like, honestly, guys, if you're interested in this synth, you can get it for free, but like, pay him some money. Like, hook the guy up. He put so much time into this. I'm totally going to do the $5 a month just to support his work, even if I end up not using Vital all the time. I think Vital will find a home. If you guys use Serum, I do think that Vital will find a home in your sound design. Somebody was asking something else. Okay, I covered MDG. Is there any better? Is better than any collage online classes? Thanks. Is there sample import to wavetable? Yes. So you just go and you grab your sample over here. Sure. And then you just drag it in. And then you actually have some import options. So you have wavetable, vocode, and pitch splice. So it's not very exciting, but yes, it does work. I've never touched Serum. That's totally fine too. I wish YouTube gave a like comment feature. Doesn't that have that? I want to say. Does anybody else have any other questions about Faceplant? Or sorry, about Vital? I use Serum more than Faceplant, and I have a feeling Vital will be taking Serum's place in my workflow when it drops. Yeah, I definitely think that you deserve, or that Vital deserves a spot in your plugin library. But considering the price, considering how all this stuff is, like, it's definitely something that I think you all will be more than happy with. What are the wavetable editing options compared to Serum? So the way that works is pretty interesting. It's kind of like, how do I say? It's kind of like After Effects or like video editing. Is there any way to access the beta? Would buy the subscription right away, but unfortunately, I don't know. Where can we get Vital? You can get Vital from Vital.audio. Ooh, so yeah, within wavetable editing here, what you have to do is have at least 2 tables like this. And so now you have your delta, right, which is your change over time. And what you do is you add modifiers here into your wave window like this, that you can change things in such a way. And so what you have kind of instead is keyframes here that you can set up to change over time. So you can do that. You can also add some other things as well. You can also add audios to that to change, which is kind of cool. Like you can add like complex stuff as well. So if we were to do something like that, you can kind of change all that. And if you go to the wave source and look how this changes over time, you can see that it's not doing much, but that is kind of how you can change things. As far as an actual wavetable goes, you can click on one wave source like this and draw a different table kind of like this. And then what will happen is you'll see over time on the little gray thing that you'll move and morph between these. This is really streamlined, and I really actually enjoy that. So if you take a look, we've got ourselves a cute little wavetable here. So yeah, I've only dabbled in creating wavetables. I'm definitely not glorklunk. Yeah, nobody's glorklunk. Don't try to be like glorklunk. My wavetables are very specific in general, and most of the time what I do is I make wavetables from audio sources. So that's kind of just a lot easier for me in particular. But as far as like what Glork does, that's a totally different thing. And yeah, that's kind of one of those things you'll have to consider. So I'm definitely coming back to this page later. Cool. Yeah, I've got a ton of tutorials for you all. And please try and import a wave. I just did that. Right? That's a wavetable. I guess we can try maybe something else like a loop or whatever. That's okay. This is really quiet now.
Recording to logbook.
Yo, thank you so much, Side Drop, for the follow. Appreciate it. Kick drum? Okay. Yeah, I imagine if you play this at a fast enough level, then I really like, you know what's really impressive about the wavetable import here is that it sounds really close to what you throw in here. Like, I don't know about you guys, but anytime I throw something into Serum, like it would sound like, not necessarily in a bad way, but it would sound totally different than what I plug in, right? Kick drum's excellent FM timbres for psytrance leads. Wait. But for this in particular, like I'm pretty pleased with like how that, like it's still reminiscent of what you throw into it. I think wavetables only work well with pitch sounds. I just think that it depends. Like if you were to throw like a drum loop. Oops, I meant to do this one. Normalization, I think, would be over here. And I think that you would have to do like a modifier. I want to say wave window, frequency filter, slew limiter, wave folder. Maybe not. Maybe you come in here and take the sample. And is there a phase style? Oh, that's cool. Oh, there's a normalize button right there. So who needs TTS when importing sounds this good? Serum has a lot of import options, but it's a bit fiddly. What about wavetable normalization? Yeah, okay, so that's right there. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing with imported sounds on Serum. There's a lot of options. That's true. I think that like there's like this FFT thing that you want to do where I don't know what it is exactly, but I want to say that like F is the optimal thing to import. Although don't quote me on that. Somebody was telling me about it. I don't actually know. So I've only used wavetable import for perk sounds. Can we get some cool? Can get some cool basses sometimes? Yeah, definitely. Who needs text to speech when importing sounds this good? Oh my God, Rob. Yes. Yes. Okay. Oi, Vital will have Linux support. Damn. Yes. All that is true. So yeah, do I have any other questions about this kind of stuff? Anything else that you guys want to see? And if anybody's just checking in, I've kind of covered all the features that I can possibly think of earlier in the VOD, and this VOD will be public. Yeah, it can also do accents. So if we initialize this and then go to, oh, 1 sec, sorry, I'll check that up. Why is it free? It's because Matt likes you. Don't think you covered that. You go to text to wavetable, and right here on this, you have different accents here. So if I wanted to sound German, I can say, oh wait, let's do like a stereotype. Actually, let's not do a stereotype. Yeah, F0 at minus 23 cents or 21.5 hertz is optimal for wavetable importing, whether or not right. Can you make a pluck sound to see how it works? Wonder if it sounds as clicky as Spire, which I love. One sec. Have Swedish? Okay, let's try Swedish. What do you want me to say in Sweden? Or with a Swedish accent, rather. Sorry. IKEA? Lol. Okay.
IKEA, 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 IKEA.
IKEA, 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 IKEA.
I know, it sounds really good, right? It is pretty close. It's pretty, that's a really cool thing. What was the other one? This sounds great. What the fuck? This is way better than Serum's text-to-speech. Serum has text-to-speech? Since when? It said, look at my sexy body. I think that was one that said. Hard bass with a Russian accent? Okay.
Look at me sexy body.
Oh my goodness.
Look at me sexy body.
Oh my gosh, that's great. All right, let's do that last one. That sounds so Swedish. Okay, let's do hard bass in Russian. This is so good, man. Oh, I think that was translated. Oh, HARD bass. It's spelling it. I didn't catch that at first. Okay, wait, it's supposed to be English to Russian. So is there a way to go that's Russian? Oh, okay. So, oh, interesting. All right. So that is crazy. So you go to English on this one. Oh, maybe not. Okay. It only does 1-to-1. So that would be cool if there was an insert for this to have like an actual this says Russian to Russian, so it would be interesting if there was an input that was the language and then it had another one that had accent. So that would be really cool. But between all this stuff, I don't know why it did that. Can you resample oscillators into other oscillators? You can, and you can take the entire preset rather and go into and then change that into a wavetable. Hard to base a D does. Or I helvete. Okay, so we had that other question really quick regarding the frequency rate. So let's just go to, I guess, seconds. And let's see, this goes down to 0.1 seconds. And it goes all the way up to 128 seconds. So that's your frequency range. As far as your tempo, it goes all the way down to freeze. So 32 bars to freeze into 164. I imagine that's all the same. And you've got your key tracking here that you can also do as well. Can you put emoji in there? Yeah, I can do that. Let's see what that does. If you put in that thing, would it say it right? I can try. Hold on. Let me see if I can copy this. I don't even know if that copied or not.
Hard bass. Hard bass.
Yeah, that worked.
Hard bass.
Bass.
Nice. Hard bass. Make it say kawaii in Japanese. Okay. All right. I'll do one more. I'll do the kawaii one, but then let's move on.
kawaii, kawaii.
I think that, like, as you'll see, will this video be available after stream? For some reason, I can go back into the time video. Yeah, this in particular is going to be, I think, a public thing, because this isn't about me today. This is about Matt Title, so I'll probably title this whatever it is that I already titled it in general, so people can watch it later. But yeah, it's really interesting. I had no idea this was coming out until just now. It's so crazy to have accents in TTS. It would be cool if there were different ways to change the voice, like just from the source, like, because you can obviously do that through the vocoder and all that, but having different, I don't know if that's even possible or not, because it's just reading the raw waveform or whatever, but it definitely feels like there's some kind of algorithm to which the speech is generating harmonics off of, right? So if you could do like Microsoft Sam or, you know, Microsoft Bill or Siri or something, how cool would that be to kind of have that to use to go off of? Let me see. I'm just catching up on chat to make sure that I'm answering everybody's questions. Let's see. Matt Title. Did I say his name incorrectly? What a crazy VST. Damn. Damn, son. Where'd you find this? So, yeah, does anybody else have any other questions or anything? I think that I'll probably call it soon and take a break off of this. I guess, yeah, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and plug my info now, though. But for all of you guys, my name is Alckemy. I make a lot of different YouTube tutorials based off of like neural-based design, glitch, IDM stuff. So you can check all that out. I did want to show you guys before that, conveniently for you, if you go to my page and you guys are looking for specific information, can you show us the different filter types? Yeah, I'll show you that in 1 second. I've shown that a few times, but if you guys go to my channel and you go to playlists, everything that you want to know is already kind of here for you all. So we've got faceplant tutorials, you've got production, Bitwig. VODs are members only, so for $2 a month, you can access all of my live streams. This live stream will be public in case if you guys want to go back and visit this. I've got bass tutorials, full songs, philosophical things, whatever. So whatever you guys want to look, that's all there for you. Thank you so much for this demo. Sadly, I didn't get into the beta, so this is the next best thing. Yeah, I'm just happy that Matt is finally releasing it. So there's that. Yeah, nothing is pay locked except for the VODs. But if you guys come in during stream, then the streams are available for you to watch. So I don't paywall those, obviously, if you're here. So yeah, with the filter types, we've got analog, dirty, ladder, digital, diode, formant, comb, and phaser. So between analog and diode, I'm pretty sure, sorry, between analog and digital, these are all the same. But once you get to diode, then things start to change a bit. You've got different formants right here. Oh, just between these two, I guess. Then you've got a comb. And then you have your phaser. So, and I think that what this means down here is that these are the morph types that you have between all of these. That's what that seems like to me. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of what all that stuff is. Right now, if you guys are interested in buying anything off alckemy.com, there's a 15% link in the Discord and all that stuff. So there's all that. And then I'm also raising money to get a new computer. So all that stuff. Yeah. Any last questions before I decide to hop off? I had a wonderful stream. This was really cool. And thank you all so much for coming in. I'm going to be back tonight at 7 p.m. It's currently 2:30 or 2:15 with Hakubo. So if you guys know who that is, he's going to be joining me and we're going to kind of just shoot the shit and have a good time. He wants to talk about like building content. I don't really know where that's going to go, but we're kind of just going to hang out. We haven't had a person-to-person conversation in a long time. So, or actually ever before rather. So that will be cool. Is there a feature that allows us to find the note played from the noise oscillator without external plugins? I'm slow at finding pitch by ear. Yes and no. So if the pitch is, I guess, if the harmonic is resonant enough, then you actually have a spectrum analyzer right here. So if I were to, I got to go back here and take this off and then go to, there you go. You go to advanced. Then you can find the fundamental here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, maybe not. I was hoping that on this, you can actually see that, like, what frequency range this is. So I guess like you can kind of eyeball it by one means or another, but I don't think that this would be that helpful to you in that way. So no, technically not. I think that you would have to kind of figure out what that is. The note played from the noise oscillator, I think that it repitches that though from the sample. So like if I were to add a clap into here, actually, hold on, let's grab like a sine wave or something. Just an easy one. Yeah, he's talking about in the oscillator though. So like he's saying like, will this repitch it to like C or whatever, which is actually a great question. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so right now I'm playing F. So let's go ahead and pull up a Pro Q. Say hello to my wife, Jessica. I don't know what that means. So right now this is playing C. So it does. It will repitch it to C, which is neat. Oh shit, what the hell just happened? But I didn't turn key tracking on. So there we go. Yeah. So what it will do is it will try to find C for you, and then when you turn key tracking on, it will try to automatically detect the pitch. And I don't know how perfect that is, but that is actually a really important thing, and I'm glad that you asked that, because that's something that I would have overlooked otherwise. So whenever you import a sample, it'll automatically pitch it to C, and then my laptop speakers absolutely made no sound. It's because it's too low. There you go. Just saw your Mac username, LOL. Formerly Alucard. Actually, what happened was I wanted that to be my producer name a long time ago, and then some guy that doesn't make music anymore had that name in a completely different genre. And then if you go on soundcloud.com, there's like a billion different Alucards. So Castlevania stuff. So yeah, that is really cool though. So what is that frequency under 30 hertz, and why was it there when you were playing a sine wave at a higher frequency due to sample importing? All the good names are already taken is already taken. I don't know. I didn't even hear anything, to be honest. What are we looking at? Oh, are you talking about this? Yeah, that's probably just the sample, to be honest. Like, this isn't a pure sine wave, it's a sample, so there might be some kind of artifacts or something in there. Yo, 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 yo. Was good. Or DC offset, that could be it too. But yeah, I don't know in particular. I don't know if it introduces some kind of artifacts or something whenever you import it, but that's kind of to be expected with any kind of sampler, right? So yeah, that was a good question though. I'm glad that we figured that one out too. This really covered quite a bit of information on this, and there was a lot of good stuff that we went over. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on here that I wanted to kind of cover. I mean, we didn't really talk about all of these, but I think that's okay, because this is all like MPE stuff. Just let machine learning come up with new names. It's honestly pretty good at it, but I liked Sun Damage Omen, but someone else also liked it, so it was taken. I think it's fine. I've coined Alckemy, and Alckemy is apparently Alckemy with a K was not taken, so I have full control over that. Oh, yeah, there is one more thing. You have natural stereo in this by default. I forgot about that. So if you want something to like sum to mono, like this is a really cool like stereo thing that you can do that makes this really easy to kind of control. I did forget to mention that, and it's a very simple feature, but very important, I would say. Yeah, other than that, I think I covered everything. Well, almost everything. Like all of the main, let's just say I covered the biggest features within this. Can you definitely modulate the macros? Yes, you can. Confirmed. You can modulate the macros. I'm sorry. I feel like that was, yeah, dude, I'm so sorry. I feel like you asked that and I skimmed over that. And I think that it was because you were asking, I thought you were asking something different. So I'm sorry for misinterpreting that. Thanks for asking again and having the patience to wait for me to process what you were trying to say. My bad. You said yes, but didn't show us. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you can do that. Can you directly assign various parameters to host automation, or is it like Faceplant where it's just the macros? Wait, can you, hold on, let me read that again. Can you directly assign the various parameters to host automation? Yeah, so you're saying like, if I have a delay on here, will this like translate outside of Bitwig? Yeah, it should be the same. So if I go over here and do this, real estate, please. There we go. Then yeah, you can host that to, or take that to host automation. So go there to the Vital envelope. This VST made me fail. Oh, neat. Yeah, so click on there. Yeah, you can do host automation like that. And so I made a point about this earlier that like, while compared to Faceplant, you have a limited amount of effects that you can do. If you have Serum effects or you have Faceplant, or sorry, you have Vital effects, then what you can do is just do a nested device in something like Bitwig or Ableton, and then assign a modulator like random or so to all of those effects. So it will naturally kind of make it like, can you check please if the pitch wheel or mod wheel can be automated? Well, why would you automate the pitch wheel when you can just automate the pitch? But okay, sure. Let's see if you can do the pitch wheel. Okay, so there's the pitch wheel. So yes, you can automate the pitch wheel, and then you can also automate the mod wheel as well. So confirmed. I think this will be a great complement to Faceplant now that I'm seeing more of it. Ah, nice. It really helps when you're making a sound with multiple mod destinations, and then after you can assign the LFO to a macro. I definitely agree with that. That is a really important feature. And again, sorry, I skimmed over it. I don't know what happened. I've got plenty of Faceplant patches where I have automation on a macro. So that's definitely something that is important. And to my knowledge, I don't think that you can do that in Serum, right? What? Yeah, you can't do that in Serum. So you can't automate macro, or you can't modulate macros in Serum. I mean, you can modulate macros outside of Serum, but for an LFO to modulate a macro, you can't do that. Dude, I only speak English. I don't know what that means. Sorry. So, yeah. Does anybody else have anything? It's hello in Arabic. Oh, hi. Hello. Sorry. It'd be very simple to implement in Serum, I presume, but once I get this, who cares about Serum? Yeah, especially since it's going to be free. Last call for questions, though. Questions. I just come in. What is this? Sorry. This is Vital. It's a new synth that's coming out on the 24th. It's going to be free. Is there anything if you found in Serum can do that this can't? Matthew, yes. I'm sorry. I'm just going to ask that you go back and watch the VOD, though. Thank you for the stream. You're welcome. Oh my god. Is it possible to macro another macro like you can in Faceplant, or have you covered that already? I love your tutorials. Thanks so much, dude. I don't know. Let's try. So we'll do... Oh, sorry. It's here. Yeah, you can macro another macro. Is there anything new that's not done before? Yes. Text to wavetable. Actually, a lot of things in here. Text to wavetable, independent modulation sources by other modulations. You can do unison, custom unison modes. What else? What else can you do? Lots of things. Lots of things in this. It's really cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. Also, thank you for the subscription, NPR. I appreciate that too. But yeah, I would just go back and watch the video now. It is 2.5 hours, but there's a lot of content that we covered within that. Thanks, Alckemy. This is the first I've heard of Vital. I'm glad I saw your vid pop up. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in. Actually, guys, like all 100 plus of you, thank you so much for coming in. Like usually I have like 15 viewers, so this was really cool for you all to come in and say hello. This will probably be where I call the stream for a few hours, and then I'll hop back on around 7 with Hakubo, and then you guys can come in and just hang out. We're going to talk about some BS or do something different, but much love to you all. Thank you so much. And if you guys want to support the channel, there's a bunch of links in the description, and I also just appreciate like subs and all that stuff too. And thank you all so much. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the Discord and all that stuff. I'll be doing more coverage soon as time rolls on. 7, what time zone? It's 2:25 p.m. so 14:25 if you're on a 24-hour clock. Great showcase, man. Thanks. So in about 4.5 hours.
Recording
So,
to logbook.
Central Time.
Recording to logbook.
Thank you so much for the sub, Samuel. Dude, and Samuel, thank you so much for your help, man. I really appreciate your guidance on this stuff, because you answered a lot of questions that I normally might not have known about. So definitely want to make sure that you get a shout out to that too. 3 a.m. for me here. Django, maybe when you go to bed and wake up, you'll be just in time. Mercy in boat. Hi Mercy. Great stream, man. And Matt, if you want to see this, yeah, dude, Matt, if you see this, I hope that I did your thing justice. I need to say this, that like faceplant serum this end of discussion. You just like randomly come in at the end of the stream and just shout that. Lol. I don't know who you expect to take you serious, but funny. Yeah, Matt, if you see this, I hope that I did this justice. Nobody paid me for this. This is a beta, and I am probably going to end up buying this myself. So like, this is not like a paid promotion. Sorry for the plosives. This is not a paid promotion you can pay for. No, I really dig it. I came in at the end. Sorry. It's okay. This will be available as soon as I hop off, so don't feel like you're going to miss anything. And I do think that the stream in the past is pretty compact, so like there's not really a lot of dilly-dallying. It'll go through everything that you want to know about. Robin is Kilohearts and Steve Duda in disguise. What? I love Kilohearts though. They're good people. New mic sounds less sibilant, by the way. Yeah, hopefully the new mic is also took out the hopefully the new mic also took out the background noise. I think that this is much quieter. So yeah, this drops November 24th. There's a free version. There's different paid options. There are different models from that. But please, guys, whenever this becomes available, please consider supporting him. Let's make him lots of money, so that way he can keep supporting this thing. Let's get him a new house. Let's help him take care of his babies if he has kids. I don't know if he has kids or not, but let's help him take care of his family, and let's at least support him with the cheeseburger. So I miss the fan though. Wiggles, get the hell out of here. Fuck that fan. I'm so glad that this is like so much more quiet and actually like concise with that. So all right, I could sit here and chat with you guys forever. I think that I need to have some breakfast and eat something, so that way I can be ready for the stream with Hakubo. 7 o'clock, I've got Hakubo. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for coming in. Thanks, Matt, for letting me beta your stuff. And if anybody, again, has any questions, then come see me in the Discord, okay? I'm going to hop off now. Much love to you all. I'll see you in a little bit.